Okay, next we're going to go into public communication. You are welcome and encouraged to participate in this meeting. Public comment is taken on items listed on the agenda when they are called. Public comment on items not listed on the agenda will be heard at this time. Comments that are controversial items may be limited, and large groups are encouraged to select representatives to express their opinions of the group. So at this time, I'm going to go through the written requests. These members have submitted written requests at least 24 hours prior to the meeting. Will be normally allocated 5 minutes to speak. Do we have any from the
None
previous?
received.
Okay, so we do have speaker cards from today, so you will have 3 minutes to speak today. Looks like,
Through the mayor,
yes.
a gentleman here said he turned in a speaker card yesterday, or
I requested a 5 minutes yesterday.
Okay.
I sent an email to you. But if you give me 3 minutes, that's the way it goes.
Who was, we did not receive.
your name, sir? Let the.
It's Phil Trainer.
It's
Oh,
Phil
I'm
Trainer.
sorry, Phil.
Yeah.
We know Phil.
Phil, we never received a written request.
Yeah, we didn't receive an email.
Corresponding to the last 6 weeks on the same issue. Let's start with it.
Yeah, we did not receive an email.
So just for the record, we haven't cut off Mr. Trainer's email and put him in our spam system. So I don't know.
It goes into spam now.
Phil, something might have been caught up. I don't know. So, but I trust, yeah.
Yeah, no problem. We do have a request from Becky Jennings. Is there anything on that? We have some notes.
I believe Mrs. Jennings is here to speak on the matter of the grand jury
Okay,
report,
so
unless
that
she advises
that
otherwise.
item's going to be
You-
up later. Okay.
And so that'll be coming up in a few.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So we have Karen Liggett. Karen, when you go up to the podium, can you please state your name and your address, please, for the record?
Karen Liggett, a Marysville resident, but I'm here because I've had talks with several of the city council. I go against the pot industry to protect our children against them. And I've been reading in the Pale Democrat about the boutique selling CBDs. And I've been going to the Capitol for the last 4 years on all the bills relating to this. And I know for a fact they cannot be open for business until they clear their status with the State Department and the local department. And I have concern that they may be open and selling their CBDs without the local and the state's approval. And so that's where I came to the city council today to make sure if they're not giving you guys the go-ahead from the city and the state level, then they need to be shut down. And also that one that from last year, within the last year that came to the city council, I was told they're still open for business. And so I'm wondering if they should be shut down as well. And if any of these two businesses are anywhere near the schools, because they do have a limit of 600 feet, I believe, or 1,000 feet from a school in order to be in operation. So I'm trying to make sure the children don't get access to this. And I just recently got 2 reports, a 5-year-old kid and a 12-year-old kid died from CBDs. And this was recent. So I have concern if these products are going to be safe for the children that are going to be using it. The parents are not looking out for their children. And so we as the community needs to make sure that's taken care of, to make the children safe from these drug dealers. They don't care. They want to ruin the kids' lives. They don't care. And evidently, the parents don't care. So I want to make sure the kids are safe. So if you can, check into that. If you guys, with your ordinance, if these businesses are not in compliance with your ordinance, they need to be shut down.
Thank you,
Thank
Karen.
you.
Thank you, Karen. We will make note.
So, Madam Mayor, I know it's not customary for your council to comment, but I've heard from several of you, so I know several of you probably want to comment on it, but just staff is addressing this on both areas. One is the police department has been working on the matter of the I can't say it, cannabinoids, I think it is, being sold. And then the second matter, the code enforcement and council members might have more to offer, but generally I just want to share that. So this is a matter that's being addressed.
Thank you.
Through
Appreciate it.
Through the mayor. The Burns Drive location has been deactivated. And the only reason I even want to speak is because Karen brought this up and the public has heard about this as being a potential site. As far as I know, it's been deactivated. There's 6 holes in the building where they removed their sign months ago. There's an exterior lock on their outside door. So I doubt that anybody was locked inside to continue their work. I don't know. I'm just assuming. But it looks as though when I first checked on it after they had deactivated their website information about Yuba City, that they have vacated unless they're running in a completely clandestine operation. They're out of here. And I know this morning I had a meeting with the operator over on Bridge Street, and the city is looking into action on that.
Okay, great.
They're within the sphere of that school. The state of California is, as far as I know, the city of Yuba City is dealing with the State Bureau regarding that operation there.
We're addressing all the things that have been mentioned this
Terrible,
evening.
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
It'll take a couple of days to get it worked through the system.
Next, we have Philip Trainer.
I thank you for having me back here. I really don't appreciate being up here, but I have to do this because of the way I feel. I want to bring up the issue again on the pensions. It's the only thing I've ever ranted and raved about.
Philip, for the record, can you go ahead and state your name and address for the record,
Philip Trainer,
please?
Yuba City.
Thank you.
I've ranted and raved about the pensions since 2004. I think I worked with Stan back in 2006 on it. I've had politicians call me crazy and stupid, ignorant. I've had them say, Trainer, when you come back and show us that we're wrong, we will admit it. Well, it isn't in my nature to come back and say you're wrong. But I've been proven right. The pension issue is gone. We can't make it. I just want to bring up a few issues that I have read and I would love to have the public understand what's happening on the pensions. The Yuba City tied in with PERS, and PERS invests their money in the stock market. They invest in some real estate, but primarily in the stock market. The stock market was very, very good to the CalPERS from 1990 to 2002. There was an up market every year, 12 years. We then had another up market until 2008. However, in 2004, Yuba City and Sutter County both agreed that there was all kinds of money in PERS. In fact, there was. In 2002, there was 131% funded. PERS had 31% more money than they needed. In 2008, they were 40% behind. That's how fast your money went out. So that's why I am here to see what have you done about the pensions. Every time I've come to speak with these things, everybody says, Trainer, we're going to do something. John, I've been here 3 times before you, and you agreed one time that you would bring up PERS and we'd be allowed to speak to PERS. I never was able to speak to PERS. I think it's a shame that the public been treated this way. It isn't that I get a pension, but I think that the workers of Yuba City deserve to have some intent to pay them, because the young workers in this city will not be paid a pension. It isn't there. It's just simple math. Take a look at what you've said. Preet, I hope you don't take me wrong, but you made the statement that you thought the unlimited liability would be paid off in 5 years. Well, since you made that, the overdraft at PERS has gone up $40 million. John, you've said the council has been working on it. You think you get over this unlimited liability problem? I haven't seen anything. Stan, you made the same remarks. I don't refer to the other two people because they weren't in on it at the time. So I would like, if I had my say, I would like anybody running for office. Well, okay, I will say this. My 3 minutes are up, and if anybody else wants to listen to me after this is over, I'll be very happy to tell you what I'm thinking. Thank you for your time. I wish you'd give me a little bit more time. I would ask each and every one of you to tell us today, what are you going to do about the pensions? Thank you. Once again, I get shut off. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil.
So, Madam Mayor, I know I'm
Yes.
talking a lot tonight, but I feel inclined to. Just so Mr. Trainer knows, of course, welcome at every single council meeting. However, just notably in September, staff will be bringing back a presentation specifically with regard to our pension system and the latest funding report that we just received in the last 2 weeks. So it's time to give an update on where we are. Thank you.
Right, exactly.
And to the mayor, and I don't, Mr. Trainer throws my name out there 3 times. That's the John. And yes, we had PERS here. We had a complete overview of PERS at that request, Mr. Trainer. Most recently, he made another request. It is being looked at by the city. We continually address it. We address it on an ongoing basis. And PERS has a fairly new CEO at the helm down at PERS, and there is some actions that are going on at PERS. And it will take probably some legislative fixes to do that, but then there are also other strategies with PEPRA and some of the other components that deal with the PERS funding itself and how those liabilities can be minimized. They can't be completely erased, but I would say that with what's coming up in the future, it certainly should be able to answer Mr. Trainer's questions as we look forward. And I appreciate Mr. Cardoza saying, woo-hoo, I'm out of it, but he's also a recipient of CalPERS. So I just threw him under the bus.
May I say something before, seeing as how you brought this up when I was walking away? If any of you want to listen to what I have to say, and I've got good numbers here, it'd be worth your while to give me 10 minutes after the meeting's over. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next, we have Elaine Miles.
Mr. Trainer has worked on this extensively. I am a retired government employee.
Elaine, can you state your name and address for the record, please?
I already did previously. Elaine Miles, Yuba City, on the other one. So the timer should not count for that being repeated. But I am a retired government employee. I voted against this because I was also an accountant. I also was a tax collector on businesses and everything else. I knew what this was going to do. Robert Stark got attacked by government employees over it. Mr. Trainer's been trying to talk to you for ages about you need to fix it. And young people working for the city and the counties and the state, they need to realize that the Sacramento stuff is not going to fix it. Remember, they refused to invest in things that would make money. I make more money in what I have invested in stocks than what they get percentage-wise with the retirement. You guys need to stand up and get this thing cleaned up and taken care of. When this passed, the thing I voted against, and I was forced into retirement because of a back injury, 2 days I was allowed to work, and I didn't know it. I got hundreds of dollars more in my retirement. Well, that's really nice, but what has it done to the rest of the people that are coming up? What has it done to their futures? What has it done to the taxpayers? You've got to pay attention to this and clean it up. You've got to fight CalPERS down there that restricts what it can be invested in. And it needs to be what they can make money on. When they even say they shouldn't invest in a gas car. Well, excuse me, a gas car is still out there and we need them in the country. So I really want you guys to work on this. Every one of you are government pay. Me, government pay. But I know what the problems are. I want it fixed. And I'll probably die before they'll take anything away from me. But what about the younger people? I am concerned about it because commitment is commitment. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to have to respond to this. I'm sorry. The reason I'm even in politics is because of three primary reasons. One was our levies. Been successful at fixing that and being an integral part of making sure our levies are at the highest level possible. One of them was the pension issue. And when I came into this, there was nothing we could do. It was rampant. Cities, governments, they could pass just about anything they wanted and the employees could get it. But our legislators have interfered so many times, which you did allude to, Elaine. And Phil Traynor refuses to accept in his conversation. He bypasses that, telling people that we are doing absolutely everything that we legally can do without being slapped with lawsuits and stopped. In fact, we even do extra and above by prepaying, all kinds of things we've been doing to make sure that the taxpayers' money from our local stays here and we can utilize it as we can. We are doing many different things and have tried some things that worked and some things that didn't work as well as we'd hoped. So we are dealing with this issue in as much as we legally can. We do push back. Different committees and boards that we serve at the state level, we go after them all the time. Somehow they find support from other groups that once we think we've got something going, all of a sudden it spins out and it's gone. It's very frustrating at the state level. I know Steve, our city manager, has been very involved in League of California city conversations, especially this last year as I guess you were the president, chair, or whatever it was, of the city managers. He's well educated on what's been going on behind the scenes. And we've utilized everything that has come up to lessen the impact. The biggest thing is they are not allowed to invest in things that actually make money. They have restricted them. One of them, like she was saying, gas cars. They want to turn all cars into electric in California. Within, I can't remember, 2040 or something like that. It's pathetically ridiculous. But the citizens of California keep hiring these people down there and voting them in, and that's what we get. So we're having to deal with what we can. So this is the reason I'm even in it, is to continue this battle. One of the primary reasons of the pension issue. If the employees would be willing to give up that unfunded pension that they got, which I still think is illegal, or was then, that go a long ways to fixing it, but that's not going to happen. Judges said they have a right to it. It was in a contract. So we're left with trying to fix it with every tool that we are eventually given. And the two representatives of the community that came in here and spoke know all this.
No,
And
I
I,
don't stand. I have to stand up and say, no, I don't. Let's bring what the unfunded monies to the other employees. Don't bring
you're saying, never mind, I'm not even going to go with it. I've sat with you for dozens of hours, so it's not worth
Stop.
talking to you anymore about it. Thank you.
All right. Next, we have Harjeet Singh.
Harjeet Singh, Yuba City. Good evening, Mayor Didball, council members, residents, fellow residents. My name is Harjeet Singh, as I've stated. I am the local community organizer for Jakara Movement, which is the largest Sikh grassroots nonprofit in California. And I'm very excited to talk to you all about Assembly Bill 3179, also known as the Bilingual Services Act. AB 3179 was introduced in the California State Assembly earlier this year. Since it has received unanimous bipartisan support, it passed the Assembly floor with unanimous support, and currently it has cleared the Senate Appropriations Committee and will be heading towards Senate vote. And it is actually being sponsored by Senator Jim Nielsen, who's of our area. So the purpose of Assembly Bill 3179 is to provide bilingual services to all who need it in the regional offices of our various statewide departments. As we know, Yuba City is very diverse, and with that, many of our residents would benefit from the passing of this bill. This bill has been supported by various local organizations, whether it's places of worship such as gurdwaras, various elected officials as well, from council members in Sacramento, Fresno, Bakersfield, etc. With that, I would like to ask, or I highly encourage our Yuba City Council to also step forward in this issue and provide a letter of support for AB 3179 on behalf of Yuba City, because as this bill reaches the Senate floor, it could use the additional support, and we also need more support for it as it reaches Governor Brown's desk so that it'll inevitably be passed there. And, so we just ask for the support, and, I'm available to speak afterwards with anyone who would like any additional details. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and those are all the cards that I have. Is there anybody that would like to speak aside from the cards that we have? No? Okay.